All right, we're going to jump in talking about toxins in our kitchen. That's right, it's the kitchen edition of Toxins. Big thanks to all the butts and seats. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to our Zoomers who are watching us. And of course, all the people after the fact on YouTube. We'd love to have you here in person sometime. Today what I want to do is go over some differences between the ancient kitchen and the modern kitchen, and then point out a lot of the things that are in the modern kitchen that we want to avoid. And there's plenty of ways, easy, convenient ways to avoid these things. The ancient kitchen was a large flat rock. It had smaller rocks of various shapes and sizes and fire. And that was it. A surface for the food to go on, and then rocks to smash it and do different things to it, and then maybe a cooking fire. The modern kitchen is various types of countertops, there's cooktops, there's machines and utensils galore. In many, but not all ways, we have progressed. Our goal today is to review some of the toxins that are commonly found in modern kitchens and what to do about them. So the first one I want to point out is plastic wrap. Oof, a lot of different brands of this stuff. Modern science is teaching us that microplastics, or really little tiny pieces of plastic, are in every body. I don't just mean every person, I mean every body. They're starting to find it in farm animals and domesticated animals. So it is prolific. What plastic is made of can disrupt the creation of hormones and the functioning of those hormones. It promotes inflammation at the cellular level. And getting away from plastic wrap keeps our food from being a source of microplastics in our body. Look for dishwasher-safe silicone or rubber lids. We will also discuss containers later in this presentation. There's quite a few companies that are making rubber or silicone lids that are a little bit pliable, a little bit stretchy, different sizes, and you can put them over the tops of other food containers to keep them airtight. They're dishwasher safe, they're reusable, and they're plastic free. That's what I recommend you find. Aluminum foil. Where's my nasty foil?
Oh, I'll get it.
Thank you. Oh, and that nasty spatula.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, I'm grateful to have them as demoing tools, but what they're made of is the part that's nasty. Aluminum foil. Aluminum is one of the most common, thank you very much, one of the most common elements in the crust of the earth. Aluminum makes up about 1/8 of the earth's crust. That means we're never going to fully get away from it. It's convenient for two primary purposes. The first is covering food while it cooks, and the second purpose is to help store food. You can just wrap it up in the foil. We will cover storage options, but when using aluminum foil to cover food, avoid allowing the foil to contact the food. This is called tenting, and it will keep the heat and the moisture in without causing the toxicity. So I'm not worried about the aluminum foil being in the toaster oven or the oven. I'm not worried about it being over a pot or pan. But if you were cooking my hand, I'd want you to have the foil like that, where it's tented, so it's not actually physically contacting my hand. That's what I'd have you do with it. Because we're not going to put any silicone or rubber lids in the oven. Okay. Plastic utensils. That includes this spatula. Where did you even find this? This is like so plasticky.
I know, it bends even.
It does? Yeah.
Yeah, see?
It's very plasticky, like childhood toy plasticky.
Yes.
Plastic utensils. Once upon a time, the only utensil option for picnics was plastic, but that is not true anymore. Various brands sell utensils that come with a carrying case intended for people bringing it to work or picnic or while they travel. Look for stainless steel and look for bamboo. There's a lot of companies making these. They are dishwasher safe, which is great because it's really convenient. We don't just have to use plastic utensils. There's a little bit of the, well, I just wanted to throw everything away when I was done. Okay, so there's a little more work for us. But that's the nice part about the carrying case. You don't have messy utensils bouncing around your picnic basket or your lunch bag. They're in their own little case. The case is often dishwasher safe also. So this is really easy to maintain. And it gets us away from another source of plastic. Plastic cutting boards. And I got to call this one out. As soon as I bought this one, I was telling Lori, as soon as I bought this one, I was bothered by the packaging. I'll explain. Plastic cutting boards. Bamboo, Wood treated with beeswax, stainless steel, and titanium are modern material options for cutting boards. These skip the toxic plastic while still performing at a high level. So let me point out the thing that really bothered me about this. First, the packaging is slick. Look at all that natural stuff that's on the packaging. Doesn't this look natural? Okay. Wow, their marketing is killing it. Oh, look at this part. It says, can you see that? BPA free. BPA free. Look, one known toxic ingredient free. But to the uninformed, or people who haven't seen enough of our videos, they're like, great, it's BPA free. That's it's a bad thing and I'm avoiding it. Home run. Okay. If you're moving from a cutting board that's made of plastic that is not BPA free, then this is in fact an upgrade. Okay? But it's still way far away from the goal. The other thing I didn't like on here, at the very back, it's in little letters, it says, we made it better. Made with 25% recycled plastic. Okay? I appreciate them trying to use recycled plastic, but it's just another thing, like the very green photo on the front. It's just trying to make us think that we're buying a safe, high-quality thing when it really isn't. So, bamboo, or get one made out of wood, treat it with beeswax. You got options when it comes to cutting boards. Plastic dishware. Whether it is a cup or a plate, a bowl, serving dish, moving away from plastics is the right idea. Plastics tend to break down well under pressure and heat, so that comes up all the time when you're having food. If avoiding breaking is the goal, look for silicone or Corelle dishware. Corelle is just really tough. It's not particularly expensive. And I get it because I got kids. Sometimes it's like, hey, I bought the plastic dishware to avoid replacement. There are options, including silicone and Corelle, so you don't feel like, oh, my kid's gonna, my 4-year-old's gonna drop this. No big deal. All right, plastic storage containers. Oh, some like this. This is, again, I don't know how she does it. If you could feel this. Yeah, probably dollar store. It is so plasticky. It's just wild to me how, I don't know if that makes sense, if that like translates, but some plastic things feel more plasticky. Maybe it's a sensory thing for me, whatever. But these storage containers, if we're going to avoid plastic in the preparation of the food, like the cutting board, and the eating of food, like the silverware, we better avoid it when it comes to the storage of that food. Look for silicone resealable bags and glass storage containers. The silicone resealable bags, they look like thick Ziploc bags, but they're made out of silicone. They're dishwasher safe, they're non-toxic, they handle heat very well. And the glass storage containers, here's the ones I use in my own house. It's Pyrex. You get it at every store. This pack I bought at Target. The last pack I bought was at Costco. They're all over. And that glass is mixed. It's really tough also, and it handles heat. These options allow us to store food in non-toxic containers. If you buy silicate glass containers like Pyrex, they're non-toxic, and you can warm the food in that container with the lid off. So sometimes people point out to me, hey Drew, the lid on the Pyrex dish is made out of plastic. Yes, it is. So just like the aluminum foil tenting, keep it from touching the food. No big deal. And then when you go to warm it up, please take the plastic lid off. Please don't melt your plastic lids. Thank you. All right, this is another one that I got to call out the label on here. Ugh. Teflon cookware. Ugh. Pots and pans made with Teflon and copper begin to break down after very few uses. When this happens, toxic elements go into the food you are preparing, and I should have also put the air that you're breathing. Look for stainless steel and ceramic pots, pans, and tea kettles. For more information on Teflon, you can find that by watching the documentary The Devil You Know. They go over Teflon quite in depth. You might want to throw away anything Teflon in your house before you watch that, though, because as soon as you do, you'll be like, I need that out of the house. A couple of fun facts about Teflon. You can't use Teflon pans if you have a pet bird. Because the breakdown of the Teflon goes in the air and will kill the bird. But we've heard of the canary in the coal mine, right? They kept a bird down there, and if the bird breathed something dangerous, it would die. We're literally doing that with the cookware. The bird is dying because it's breathing in the environment. Just like with the cutting board, there's some shenanigans on this packaging, and I want to call it out. On the back, we have this little section here that says eco-design, and it says 94% less emissions of carbon dioxide. That's 100% recycled versus new aluminum. Okay, so there's less emissions because of the type of aluminum they used in here. But they didn't tell us how much emissions that is, right? Like qualify it. Like that's 600% more. 600% more what? Bananas? Elephants? Like what are we talking about? You know? Next thing here says made from 90% recycled material. Okay, so they're using recycled material. I'm good with that. It still doesn't take away the Teflon though. Okay, like there's still a dangerous chemical involved here. And this one really bothered me. It says plastic free first, and then underneath it in smaller letters it says no plastic packaging. So maybe there's no plastic in the actual pan part, but what I don't appreciate is that, again, it just looks like this slick thing to make the product look better than it actually is when there's something toxic about the product. It's like, but don't worry, the packaging is good. It can kill birds, but the packaging is recycled. Like that's not good enough for me. We're gonna have higher standards than that. Microwave ovens, oh boy. Microwaves alter foods by heating them from the inside out, and this is a very unnatural process. Every natural way of heating something up involves heating it from the outside to the inside. A better option is to look for an air fryer and toaster oven, along with the cookware and bakeware from a company called Our Place. That's the name of the brand. It's not 3D Wellness. 3D Wellness is Our Place. But the place that makes the ovens is called Our Place, and they're based out of California. It's all non-toxic, really easy to use stuff, and that's what we're after. If we're going to skip microwaves, I still want warm enough food to be convenient for people, and an air fryer like this / toaster oven gives us that. I had a client try to debate one time. They said, not every natural way of heating something up is from the outside in. And I said, okay, well, give me an example. They were like a hot spring. And I was like, the earth warmed that up from the outside in. Like, oh, okay. The sun shining on something. I was like, that's going to heat up what it shines on from the outside in. Like, oh, okay, yeah. A fire. And I was like, that's going to heat it up from the outside in. He's like, oh, there's no natural way from the inside out. Like, that's correct. That's one of the concerns. We're preparing the food in an unnatural way, and it negatively affects the food. And then dish soap. Oh, man. I went to the store to buy this, and I walked down the aisle of the dish soaps, and I said to myself, well, maybe I won't find one with junk in it. And then the first one I picked up off the shelf had a bunch of junk in it. And I was like, never mind. Never mind. There are so many brands of dish soap. Many companies use hormone-disrupting fragrances. This one does. Others use chemicals that give a certain feel or texture, and they can irritate our digestive tract. The brand Blue Land is junk-free and explains what purpose each ingredient serves. Now that's become really popular in our modern world. And on the back of this one, they do the same thing where they list all the ingredients and then they tell you what it's for. What upset me is that some of these things are toxic. On Saturday of this week, we gave our presentation on beauty care toxins. And in the handout is a bunch of the ingredients. One of them is this word, methyl isothiazolinone. It's one of the ingredients inside of here. They just have it labeled as a preservative because that's what it is. However, it also disrupts hormones. So it's more than just a preservative. They have fragrances in here, spoke about that inside of this also, and they use all sorts of weird chemicals that they don't have to disclose when they use fragrances, and it's legal, so they get away with it. So you're just trying to clean your dishes, but you're also getting exposed to some toxic stuff. So we recommend people use Blue Land. Blue Land gets away from the unnatural preservatives. It gets away from the fake colors and the fake fragrances. safe and clean. You're using this stuff on things you're going to eat off of, drink out of, prepare food with. We want it to be clean. We don't want any chemicals being imparted into our food or drink.
If I might just add about the Blue Land product.
Yeah, Blue Land.
I just recently started using that as my dish washer detergent, and what I like about it is the tablets, but it's not encased in plastic pods or whatever. I got away from that entirely, and I swear my dishes have never felt and looked cleaner.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying all that, because in our modern times, a lot of these products are so good. But if I go back like 15 years in my career, a lot of the natural home cleaning products, dish detergents, that stuff, weren't good yet. There wasn't a lot of money in the industry yet, or at least I should say not as much money as there is now. So the development of these products was kind of stunted. Nowadays, we also use the Blue Land dishwasher tabs, and they're great. You're right, you get away from the plastics. I've had a couple of people say, well, I'm not worried about the plastic in the dish detergent. Doesn't that get washed down the drain? And I was like, okay, it gets washed down the drain. It's designed to mostly dissolve, but then it's still going into the groundwater. It's still a forever chemical. It may just come back to us via the water getting purified for drinking, rain, evaporation. We want to get away from having so many chemicals in our day-to-day life events. So not being wrapped in plastic is one way that the dish detergent can help us decrease our chemical exposure. Thanks for bringing that up.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions, other thoughts?
Yeah, I've got a question on going back to the plastic wrap and aluminum foil.
Yes.
When you were talking about the lid option.
Yeah.
Now, I understand, you use aluminum foil as a cover as long as it doesn't touch the food.
Yeah.
Couldn't you do that with the plastic wrap over a dish as long as it didn't touch the food?
You absolutely could.
Okay.
The difference is with tenting, the aluminum foil will hold an arch.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use plastic wrap the same way and just avoid having it contact the food, it won't hold its arch. So you have to have your food container not filled above the brim.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Thanksgiving, just to envision this with me. I have the turkey inside of the pan. The turkey is absolutely taller than the pan. I have to use aluminum foil to tent over the turkey. Yeah. Plastic wrap wouldn't work for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's a flat dish and the food is filled below the brim, the plastic wrap without touching the food is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the utensils, I have some silicone utensils.
Yeah.
Is that silicones?
Yep, it's good to go. Right. Whenever you can, you want to look for surgical or medical grade silicone. A lot of companies are proud that they're using that, so they just label it as such. It's still so much better than plastic. Yeah.
And for the cutting boards, bamboo, wood treated. So any wood, I think mine right now is like acai wood or something.
Okay.
Like that. And wood is good. Any wood is good.
Wood is good. The only tricky part with wood is if they finished it with something weird.
Sure.
So as much as possible, and this came up with Teresa a few weeks ago, one of our clients has a brother who does woodworking, and he made her a cutting board, and apparently it's gorgeous. And he said, hey, I know you got a bunch of health stuff and you try to avoid certain things. What can I treat the wood with? Because you don't want just bare wood for a cutting board. And it's beeswax. So if you can get a cutting board that is unfinished, untreated, you can actually scrub in your own beeswax. You protect it, and then you know there's no junk in your cutting board.
What's so special about beeswax?
It's watertight and totally natural.
Okay.
You can damage it and scrape it off and then reapply it. So it's, in a good way, very temporary. Because it's easy to resolve it. If you wear it down, it's easy to clean it and then reapply.
So so beeswax for candles is a good option for candles?
Well, that's a bigger question.
That's a bigger question.
Yeah, because if a candle is made exclusively out of beeswax, I'm not concerned about that.
Okay.
But just like the labeling we saw on these products, the labeling will often say made with beeswax, and it's the 17th ingredient on the ingredient list.
Oh.
They'll use soy for 90% of it.
I see.
5% beeswax, so they can label it as such legally, and then 5% fragrance. Like,
Okay.
oh no, more of that. That makes sense?
Yes. Okay.
So pure beeswax candle is very different than any mix with beeswax.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Other questions coming up.
Pan, yeah, so ceramic pans. I think I have like a green pan. I don't even remember what that is.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So even with Tefal, they have tiers of pans. So I grabbed their bottom tier, which is the junky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As you ascend through that line and through other companies' lines, you eventually get to either stainless steel or ceramic that's non-coated.
Ceramic non-coated.
Yep, and it's just really high-grade ceramic. And when it's really high-grade, it's naturally slippery, so food doesn't stick to it.
So the brand Caraway comes to my mind.
Caraway makes a lot of good stuff, but they also have tiers.
Yeah.
So you have to look at what you're buying because they
Okay.
have multiple options.
Okay.
And, it's not Caraway, and I just saw it the other day. There's one other one. It's available everywhere, even Target. And it's the biggest competition for Caraway. Sorry, Calphalon. Calphalon?
Oh,
Calphalon. Calphalon also has tiers. I really like Calphalon stainless steel. It's been a very consistent product. I've had clients buying that one for more than a decade. They also have a ceramic. In our house, it's one cast iron and then a bunch of stainless steel and a little bit of Caraway. Ceramic. Good questions. And Zoomers, you can holler out questions. I got the volume up, so I'll hear you. Or I should say, keep talking until I hear you.
We were talking about the dish soap and when like the dishwashers a little bit. What about the dishwasher rinse? They have like the liquid stuff.
Yeah.
And I know, so we just got a dishwasher a couple years ago.
Right. Congratulations. Game changer. Yeah, to get a dishwasher.
I do better than to buy like Cascade products. Oh my God,
Good. Yeah.
So I do have Blue Hand for the tablets, but then I was interested in like the rinse, and I got like I think it's Lemmy Shine, and it's just like citric acid. I don't know. I can't remember what all in there. But anyway, dishwasher
rinses. There's a couple of safe options. It usually has citric acid or some kind of acid like that. The big no-nos are when you see it very clearly has an unnatural color.
Mm-hmm.
If it says scented,
right.
Those are like the red flags for that stuff because we don't need our rinse to be scented. Like, you know what I mean? We don't need it to be blue. If it's going to work, it's going to work regardless of color. Mm-hmm. If something tastes like fruit punch, it doesn't have to be red. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I like the idea of a product like Lemmy Shine. I'm not sure if Blue Land has a rinse or not.
I don't think I've seen it. But...
There's also a book that's called Lemons, Vinegar, Salt, and Soda, I think. Baking powder, lemon, something like that. If you go on Amazon and you search under books for lemon, salt, vinegar, and soda, it's a cleaning book and it's just natural ways to clean stuff. And I believe that there is a dishwasher rinse recipe in there. Totally natural, non-toxic. It's a handy little book to have. I should dig mine out. It's wedged between the cookbooks I don't open often. Yeah. I should unwedge it.
Salt, lemons, vinegar, and baking soda.
That's what it was. Thank you very much. I think it's only like $12 or $15 too. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my big question, like, so why? Like if they're so bad, like, how did we get? Like, why?
How did we get here?
Full of horrible stuff.
Absolutely, that is a fair question. My answer might meander a little bit. Let's see if I can get my idea across. How did we get to the point where there are so many toxic things in our day-to-day life? For me, if we take the biggest step back from it, it is an efficiency of industry thing. You can turn out plastic product faster than you can turn out stainless steel. You can turn out plastic for less dollars on the hour than you can stainless steel. So the desire to be hyper profitable often dominates industry. For me, I just think about like, so all these companies make different tiers of pans, for example. Like they know there's a problem with the bottom tier, hence multiple tiers. This isn't chef level stuff. This isn't, oh, you're working in a 4-star kitchen in France. No, this is just home use stuff. It isn't commercial use. And they have those tiers. So there's an awareness that there's a problem with some of these ingredients. But the desire to be profitable and prey on people's, I don't know if I would use the term ignorance, but lack of awareness on the toxicity of this stuff. And then they get their profit that they want. Plastic is really easy to produce in the modern world. It molds easily. I have a buddy named Charlie, and he ordered his pans from France because he used to order his cast iron pans from an American-made company. And when he wanted new pans, he reached out to them, and they had closed shop. And they referred him to this company in France that they said made it the right way. So the second part about how did we get so much of this junk in our day-to-day life, some American manufacturing has gone by the wayside because things like the plastic industry has dominated people's desire. Why would I wait for a stainless steel spatula when I can go buy a plastic one now? Kind of thing. I don't want to pay for shipping of a plastic spatula. Sure. A metal spatula. I could just go down the road and get a plastic one. It's going to cost me $1.50. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're selling themselves out in the long term to try to gain in the short term. Did that answer your question? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a bummer. It's a bummer.
Right.
Makes me want to move to the Amazon, but I don't like spiders, so probably won't work for me. Sorry. Other questions coming to mind? The microwave, we cut it out of our life for years before we got the toaster oven air fryer combo. And looking back, I would have loved to have that sooner. We warmed up a lot of stuff just in a shallow pan with a cover. Yeah. Add a little bit of water. That would heat stuff up pretty quick. Mm-hmm. But it was trouble getting it to crisp up cooking that way. Whereas the air fryer toaster oven, it's really easy to get stuff crispy. So it's nice if you want to like roast a little bit of veggie as a side dish. It's great because it's super fast to roast a little veggie in a toaster oven.
Yeah, I love our air fryer. We use air fryer a lot.
Right on.
Eating, I'm trying to think things that get reheated often are like even like spaghetti, like mm-hmm. stuff like that.
Yeah, grilled stuff. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would just be on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got it. Cool. Well, that's what I had for you today. I'm glad we went over this stuff. So we have 2 more presentations in the series on toxins. It is, these will be in April 11th, which is a Saturday, food toxins. We're going to talk about how to read labels, packaged food. And then the Thursday after that, April 16th, home care toxins. We're absolutely going to talk about that book during that one. I want you to have a clean toilet and all that, but I don't want you to get exposed to so many chemicals. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We love the butts and seats. Zoomers, we'll see ya.